They're saying, look here, show fear, show heart, show hate. That's what I usually yell out at this point. Over here, show fear. Smile, grin, look down, look up, look around.
Hey, how are you? Hey, how you doing, hon?
Tell me about your fandom of Chicago. When did you discover them? What really moved you in about their sound?
Well, I mean, I'm in my 40s, so there's never been a time where they didn't exist for me, you know? And like growing up on that kind of free format radio in the late 70s, early 80s, they were just kind of everywhere. And I think, like I was always at first, I think just because of my age, was into that 80s stuff. And then when I kind of went back into the 70s stuff, and that's when I really started to get really turned on to them. And I think the more musical I got, the more I started to appreciate their musicality and some of that earlier stuff.
What kind of theater do you like? Right there? You can get from that box right there?
It's funny, I am more nervous about inducting them, right? Because like singing I can do, but being up there with them and just having that legendary horn section like right next to you, like beefing it up is pretty cool. But I'm more nervous about just, I want to give a good speech because this is like their night, and I'm sure like they're going to have this on tape and they're going to play it for people, and I don't want it to be with this bumbling idiot right before they come on going, Lee Loughnane. All right.
Back left, Rob.
Hey, how are you, man? I mean, I think that it's kind of hard to imagine. They're two different entities in a lot of ways, but then also when you listen to some of that stuff and you listen to 25 or 64 and how hard that is to sing, you realize just how amazing that guy's voice is. Like for me, the 80s period was just about like if I pulled out a Chicago record and played it in a car, I could get laid in high school easily. Like that was going to happen. If I played Hard to Say I'm Sorry, I'm going to get laid, right? But I just think, they're just something else. Like as you dig into them and you really get into the history, you see them as this badass rock and roll band and not this kind of soft jazz band. And I think, when you had like, and you see the footage of Terry Kath and somebody of that quality who's just so underrated and probably one of the best guitar players ever, then you really get to see that like how these like 4 or 5 different styles all kind of melded together to make them that band.
All right. Down in front.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, man. Black Sheep, Tribe Called Quest, like all that stuff was me. I had that even in Florida. That stuff made it down to where I was. But my wife was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, so like that's her heart too. So it was just kind of like, woo, Brooklyn.
One more.
Talk about your iZombie appearance.
Yeah, I mean, Listen, I've been doing this gig for 20 years, and something like that is like so weird to come into a machine like that runs like that, and then to be involved with stuff. Just like if you're I've never had a job where like I'm hanging out at craft services and there's zombies hanging out getting coffee with me. Like that alone made it really cool. But I can't. It doesn't air until next Tuesday, so I can't really say. I can say it doesn't end well for me. I'll just say that. Yeah.
All right. Any more questions? No? Oh, right in the back again, left.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Chicago, you being here, who would you want to see inducted out of the group tonight? Who do you think deserves it?
I don't think anybody doesn't. I mean, you're talking. I mean, Cheap Trick. Come on, Steve Miller Band. Talking Deep Purple. Like NWA. Are you kidding me? I think like when I was growing up, that NWA record, that Eazy-E record, Ice Cube solo record, like all those things were like on our constant playlist. So I think like just when you see a band like that being inducted, who are really the true spirit of rock and roll, I think it shows like the kind of the diversity of what this whole institute has become about. And it's not just become about a fashion choice. Rock and roll isn't just a pair of sunglasses and a leather jacket. It's this state of mind. I think recognizing the NWA was that state of mind, I think is really important.
All right. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Rob.
Cool. Thanks. That's right. Thank you. Yes. No. It's okay. I'm a person. I'm just a person.